Welcome to Roasting the World, where we offer an adversarial perspective on today's cultural issues. We do it for the intelligent culture. I'm your host, Keenan Robinson, and we have a very special guest today. We have
Charles Woods.
And Malachi Woods.
All right, so we have something very special for you guys. I don't know if you saw it in the preview in the beginning where you saw the racetrack and things going on like that. It's super awesome. You see my man is in his full racing outfit. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So what I do is racing, and when I do two races. One is the heat race. It's kind of like a race, but wherever you finish in, that's where you start. And then you do the feature race, which is the main race, and you will start at that position that you finished in, and then you race to the front.
So tell us how you guys got started, about the kind of car you drive, all of that good stuff.
Well, it's all started, coaching youth football, and just youth football wasn't the same anymore. Especially after the COVID and everything, and so I was coaching for Dawson Warriors for 34 years.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
And youth football, and he played 2 years, and wasn't the same. So I pulled out, and he said, "Dad," he said, "Well, you're not going to coach football." He said, "Well, let's go racing." And that's what I did in my young days. I was one of the first blacks to win a quarter-mile race at the fairgrounds.
Okay.
So I guess he took my niche of loving to drive and racing, and when he come to me and asked me would I consider him, let's drive in a race car, and we had a sit down, had a heart-to-heart, because it's a money issue.
Absolutely.
I mean, we started from scratch with no truck, no car, no trailers, no anything, and he said he really wanted to do it, so we invested in it, and I pulled a few little strings, made a few little phone calls, and some really good friends of mine are still in racing, and kind of pulling me in the right direction, buying a car and getting truck and trailer, and we pretty much is taking off from there.
What made you want to race?
When we stopped doing football, I've always wanted to drive a car.
Everybody wants to drive a car. So what kind of car do you drive?
A quarter midget.
A quarter midget. How fast does that go? Because when I saw y'all was zooming around that track.
It goes about 45 miles an hour, I think.
Wow. So Dad, how do you feel about your son at, how old are you?
9.
9 years old, driving 45 miles an hour around the track?
Well, I've experienced it myself, but I make sure that he has the best equipment.
Right.
And he's sitting inside of a roll cage, so and he's really strapped in, and he's really safe, and he's rolled it before. I mean, I actually hit the wall and the car rolled.
Wow.
And
what was that like for you?
Honestly, I was just super scared.
Yeah, because I see the big NASCAR races, and they hit the wall and fly off and do all kinds of stuff. So it's got to be scared for a 9-year-old, man. And Dad watching.
Yeah, Dad was a little nervous when it actually first happened in that type of racing.
Right.
But I got over immediately and rolled him back up on his side, right on the 4 wheels, and looked in his eyes, and he was fine. I let him know. I told him I checked him, and he said everything was fine. So that let him know. I think that gave him confidence in the equipment, safety equipment that we have for him.
Right.
That he is safe. Because I like to say that would probably be about the worst wreck you would have as far as rolling a car.
Right.
And and I said, you stayed in there, you were safe, and you come out unscathed. And ever since then, he really took off with it. Because he won the very first race of the season. This was a practice.
Okay.
This was a practice before the season started. Mm-hmm. So I was scared that he wasn't going to get back up to speed, so I had the car immediately fixed.
Okay.
and put him right back in it the very next day.
What kind of cost is associated with the upkeep? And do you got watch Fast and Furious? They got the turbo switch on them. Like, what's going on with the car, man?
Well, they're little 120 UT3 engines.
Okay,
That's what
okay.
they're Honda engines.
Okay.
Go-kart engines, and they're race engines.
Okay.
And what they do is, now we do send out to get them done, and my choice of engine builders is Flash and Raptor Motors.
Okay.
They do got the best performance that I've noticed, for this, 120 Honda engine. They're really good. They're really strong, and they're durable. They hold up really good.
That's good.
So that's who we get our engines from. I normally go through 2 engines a season.
Okay.
I have 2 new ones, and what I do is I put one in the beginning of the season, and then about halfway through we'll put another new engine in.
So for like, I know probably some kids are watching this, some adults that want their kids to get involved in these type of things because it's different than the traditional sports. It's something that I feel like people of color are underrepresented in. I know that there's Bubba Watson. I know Michael Jordan has
with Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace, and I know Michael Jordan has a car team or something like that.
Yes, 23.
So how does that influence how you move and the level of excellence that you have to have because you are the minority a lot of times in this particular field?
Well, like any sport you're going to be in, winning races, getting trophies.
Right.
Getting trophies
wins.
carries you. Winners what's gonna catches the eye.
Right.
Of the we do use sponsors. We do have to have sponsors.
Okay. And I'll ask you after this, how does that work too?
And what we do is they come in and they really help support. We're a low budget team, but we got a lot of good people that when he started racing, he really kind of took off. It didn't take him long to get a hold of how this thing works and how to drive the cars. And he run full when he started last year in August, and as a red rookie. And red rookie is beginners.
Okay.
And they got a real restrictor plate on there. Don't really go that fast.
Okay, just to get them
started. To get them acclimated, learning the track rules and everything. And he his first 4 races, he had a second. He had 2 seconds, 1 fifth, and he got caught up with some other traffic cars.
Okay.
And finished 5th. And from then on, he won 5 straight.
So young man, how does it feel to win one of those races, man?
It feels great, but I don't really show it that much. You may not see it, but it feels good.
So you're a humble young man. So how do you? Because I see your outfit, right? And the patches on there, are those your sponsors?
Yes.
Okay, so what would you say to another young man or young lady that wants to get into the racing field to really let them know that this is a good place to be? Or why do you enjoy it?
I really enjoy it because driving cars is competitive. You win a lot of trophies. And it's just fun.
It's just fun. Because, I want to get out there and drive. I saw them. I want to get in the car and drive.
I said that same thing. If I could fit in one, I'd give me one. If I could get in it. I wish they made one my size.
So from what I understand, that you've met some people that are famous that are drivers. Who have you met and what was that like?
Richard Petty.
Oh, wow.
And Darrell Waltrip.
And, him.
So Darrell Waltrip, Richard Petty, those are some big names. Those are like high-level names.
And he has met some of the local guys here that some has run here locally, and then had a little touch of the Cup series.
Okay.
And he knows Sterling Marlin. My guidance through was I was with the Famosa family.
Okay.
Taught me a lot about the racing, here in the family, and how to taught me how to work and build cars, how to weld,
Oh, so you
I
do
mean,
the
I do mainly the work on the car.
Okay, okay.
I do a lot of work on the car. Now I do have a really good friend who really actually talked me into getting it. His name is Joey Jones, Boston Oliver Racing.
Okay.
And he's
Okay.
local. He's a local driver here out at the fairgrounds. And he does drive. He drives a late model car down there, and very good little young man, very good, humble young man. And he comes and talks to him and supports him and helps us on the cars whenever we need it. And that's a very strong support that we have. You know,
So it's a team effort.
it's definitely a team
Right.
effort, team and family. It's definitely a team and family effort. And speaking of, I would like to speak up my sponsors.
Absolutely. Go ahead and shout out the sponsors.
I want
for
to give
sure.
my shout out to the sponsors. First of all, I want to thank Donaldson Record Service. Keith Shelton owns it. We grew up together many years, and but he took it upon after watching him in his rookie season. He really jumped on board to help us make this all come together. You know, especially buying a brand new car. He bought him a brand new car for this year, and he's put in the effort of whatever we need to make sure we have everything that we need. Keller Williams, Miss Penny, Keller Williams Realty, Miss Penny. She's been really great with us. She's been with us last 2 years. And Lee Entertainment. His name is Brown. I've known him since I was a kid.
Okay.
Since I was a kid. His name's Dwayne Brown, and he's with Lee Entertainment out of Franklin.
Absolutely.
And so I'd like to give a shout out to those. And my aunt and uncle, this was silent partners, and his godfather is Rob Burdett. And he's another silent partner that he really gives us money for whatever we need. They don't want nothing on the car. They're there to help support us, and they make this thing happen for us yearly. And you know, it's a lot of work. It can be work, but once you get all your pieces together, I mean, mainly all we do is buy tires weekly to race, you know, and fuel.
So what's the next step from where you are to the next step, and what's your ultimate goal in what you do?
Well, you know, the ultimate goal is be a cup driver.
Right.
That's the ultimate goal.
Okay.
But you got to crawl before you walk. So a lot of these guys like Jeff Gordon and you know a lot of these Dale Earnhardt, they come from this type of racing, like sprint cars or this is where they start. This quarter midget. A lot of these guys started in this, and they ended up being cup drivers. So his next level after we get out of the quarter midget will be, I would say, either legend cars, bandoleros. Okay. That'll be pretty much the next level it go. It's a lot more speed. It'll be at the bigger tracks. Okay. It's a lot more speed.
How do you have to be to get to the next level, or just a certain amount of races, or weight, or something?
Well, when you get in, I think you can get in a legends car. Is basically when you get 11 or 12.
So you got a couple years to
so he's got a few, but yeah. So I think we still got a few years here in this quarter midget action to let him, learn. Right. Learn, and we want him to be at his best whenever he does decide to move up. We want him at his best.
So I want to say shout out to families too, especially to dads making it happen for their sons, for their kids. And how does it feel having your dad on the side of the track, helping you the whole way through this and just being there as a support system for you?
It feels great, and he does almost everything on the car, and he's doing the main part of everything.
Making it go. What about you? Are you learning from him how to maintenance your own car? Are you watching so that one day you can get under there and fix it too? Because one day you might have a son and you can do it for him too, and that generational legacy can continue on, man. This is a great thing, and I really wanted to have you guys on because I was proud to see it when I came out yesterday. I saw him in the car, riding around, getting cheered on, with the other drivers. I did notice there were some flag dudes out there. What does I didn't know what all that meant. You just give me like a crash course on what kind of symbolism that is. And
well, that is part of those are race rules. Right. There are rules out there on the racetrack. And basically, what he was doing when we line up single file instead of double file.
Yeah, that's what
And when they go single file, there's a yellow line up by the flag stand.
Okay.
So when he gives you that one to go, when he waves that green flag, one to go, they'll start on that back straightaway. There's a yellow line back there. That's the fire line.
Okay.
So they'll take off there, but they have to stay in line until they get to the.
Then they can pass.
Yeah, till they get to this
Okay.
other yellow line that's
Okay.
on the by the flagman stand.
Okay.
Once they stay above that line, they have to stay above it. If they touch it or go underneath it, they have to re-rack them. So that's when the yellow flag comes
Okay.
out. The yellow flag will come out, and then if
Okay.
they're not getting in line in the right positions, line back up where they're supposed to be in the right position, then he'll come out of the stand, and that's what you'll see with the two flags. He'll tell them, "Hey, you need to get in front of this guy,"
Right.
and kind of direct the traffic there.
Okay,
And
yeah, I
there
saw
is,
it. I thought it was super cool out there. I got some drone footage as well as just some other footage and stuff like that. So I know that you know, but to our audience, so I'm working on a new film, and I want to use some of the footage of the races in there as some B-roll, just to kind of show. Because I thought it looked like NASCAR out there, except smaller. So so I'll put some of that in there. It looked really good, and I would just want to say shout out to you guys. I really appreciate you. So on Roasting the World, we have what's called Roasted or Toasted. So if you roast something, that means you toss it out. We don't need to talk about it anymore. It's done. But if you toast something, that means that we need to continue on that conversation, and more people need to get involved from our culture and continue to dig into it. So on the topic of racing, I want to toast it and say it looks super fun. I remember go-kart racing as a kid and dirt bikes. I got a dirt bike over there and a few things like that. So this is organized, it's professional, it looks good, and it keeps our kids, all together. And it just was super cool. So I want to toast it and say that I thought it was awesome, and continue doing what you're doing, man. Big shout out Malachi and Mr. Woods, and continue to do that. Do you guys feel like you want to roast it or toast it, and why?
I want to toast it because
Okay.
we're gonna continue this journey.
Absolutely.
When I first started, I wasn't financially stable,
Right.
and it was back in the early '90s, and there wasn't a lot of our culture. There was really none not driving, and it was hard to get the support. Didn't have the support, but I didn't come from a family with a bunch of money.
Right.
So I was racing out of my own pocket, working, living on my own, and at the age of 24, 25 years old, have your own spot. So funds was not that, it was hard to get a grasp of, and I did try to go out and get sponsors, but like I say, it was just those times, that investment with our culture people, they just didn't want to take that chance.
Do you think that that's the most difficult piece in getting started is just the funding?
Yes, that's the most thing is getting the funding and getting these good companies or corporations to backing you. That way you can compete weekly with the top runners, with the guys that's really got racing in the family. They got the funds to do whatever they need to do.
So I do have a quick question. So I work with kids, right? How would you feel about coming out, maybe either with the car or without it, but just as a racer, and talking to some other kids, at some local schools about what it is that you do, how fun it is, and why they should do it, and it's okay.
Well, I would love to do that.
Okay.
I really would.
Okay.
I would love to do that. We would bring the car and the equipment and show them basically what it is. Because to me, this is times now different.
Yeah.
So, and the kids now, I think they needing something else outside of their traditional of the sports and everything.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I just think it would be good. And you know what? It's a humbling thing.
Okay.
It helps kids that's been out here in trouble or not have really good guidance.
Right.
And with him, like I put him in, he has sponsors that he has to uphold and maintain.
Okay,
So,
that's good.
and
Yeah.
that works with your attitude, your grades. For one thing, his schooling, his grades is number one, and it's just how it's staying out of trouble and not being a follower, be a leader.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what I put into him, and he's really took it. He's took the role really great, and I think it does help kids, troubling kids. It does help them because it gives them something that they can strive. Because a lot of kids, this is something he can get in that car. When he straps in, he's in his own. He's in his own zone.
Yeah.
So everything, and a lot of kids are like that. They like to get in their own zone. They can do their things.
Yeah.
And that's what that's his office.
Absolutely.
That's their office, and I think it really helps them as far as really being neutral growing up. Is really going to help them a whole lot how to even deal with hard times and people, and
Absolutely.
and their behavior, because they're going to say, well, my sponsor's not going to be here to support me
Absolutely.
if I'm out here acting up
Yep.
doing this or not getting good grades in school,
Yep.
and I won't be able to do this.
So we can tie it all into what's next in
It's a good grooming.
Right.
It's a very good grooming of
Right.
coming up and grooming and dealing with life.
So, you have anything that you want to say to the audience before we go?
Just want to say that I do this. I only do racing because it's fun, and I just care about having fun, and that's what I care about racing the most.
Having fun and going fast. All right, well, thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of Roasting the World. We just want to say thank you guys again for coming. It was great and awesome. So until next time, stay ready so you don't got to get ready. And stay tuned for another exciting episode of Roasting the World. Peace.
Thank you.
Bye.